Hello, hello. I am so excited to be doing this workshop with you. So, my goal today is to help you simplify your beauty routine and break down exactly how you can do that on a daily basis on your own. Just a little housekeeping. The workshop is being recorded. This is going to help me later serve you better in the future or for live events. And you can turn your video off if you'd prefer. You can always just use the chat and let me know if you have any questions or if anything comes up for you. And I'll I'll mention that throughout the workshop as well. Let's just give everyone a minute to join. And if you got the email, I had a little bit of technical difficulties. I always say I'm a people person. I work with faces. So the tech side's always an interesting challenge I offer myself, especially in today's day and age. So in the email, there was a note about what to bring. If you haven't grabbed those things, you can grab them now. I suggested a mirror. I just want to check this is on. Is the mic on? It seems like it is, but I'm just going to confirm. Yeah, I think it's okay. So, yep, I think it's okay. So, one product that you want to swap for cleaner ingredients, or if there's something that you just want to learn how to use better. Hi, Wendy. So happy to have you here. I'm just running through a couple things before I even start with my intro, but I'm guessing you got the email, and the email had suggested to bring a mirror and a product, whether it's a product you want to swap out, or learn how to use better, or have any questions about, and a notepad and pen. And they'll come handy. If you don't want to grab them, no problem. You can just get what you can from the workshop, and then you'll be getting the recording anyways. So you'll be able to go back over it and kind of sift through all the information I give everyone today. And it's being recorded so that I can send you the recording and to help with anything, any future events that I put together. So I was saying my goal today is to help you simplify your beauty routine and break down exactly how you can do that on a daily basis for yourself. Let's give everyone just another minute to join. We'll see who else is coming. There were a few people that signed up, so I think they'll be coming, but going off my schedule, I tend to run late to these things too. So where in the UK are you, Wendy? I moved to the US 9 years ago from the UK. My parents were in Surrey, so I went to uni in Farnham. So not too far. My brother's still in London actually too. I forget about that big piece. My son was born there as well. But I lived in Brixton for a really long time, and then when my husband and I got together, I moved to Old Street, and we lived up there for a few years, which is where my son was born, in Islington. Okay, well, I'm gonna get us started. So I'm sure you know, my name is Stephanie, but if you don't, I'm Stephanie. Hi. I've been a makeup artist in fashion and beauty and with celebrities for over 20 years. My career started in London, and some of the celebrities No problem. You don't have to do video either way is fine. So you can just chat whenever you need. If you have any questions, just pop them in there. I'm watching that too. I'm just going to start the presentation as well, just so there's a visual for everyone to see as well while I go through this. If you cannot see it, can you let me know? I think you should be able to. Oh, maybe not. Hang on. Let me try that again. This is what I mean about technical difficulties. I have them all the time. I ended up marrying someone who works in tech, which is usually pretty helpful. But he is not by my side today. I'm on my own. So some of the celebrities that I worked with were Elle Macpherson, Madeline Petch, Alexa Chung, Nina Dobrev, and Benedict Cumberbatch. And what they all have in common is they like a natural skin texture. They don't wear overly powdered makeup, and they want to look natural. They want to enhance their own beauty, and that's why I was brought in to work with them. So I did fashion weeks, Vogue shoots, traveled with clients around the world, and now we reside in Austin, Texas. So over the years, I've just honed in on my skills, and it's very much how to enhance skin and makeup easily so that I can help women and moms do that for themselves every day. Because I have kids now and I want to be available for them, and I don't want to be shooting long days and not be able to be there for special occasions because it's either work or my family. And I feel like there's more impact in it. So yes, I will answer your question, Wendy, for sure, because, as I work through, we'll be talking about a few of these topics. And that answers what my next question was going to be. What brought you here? What led you to sign up for this workshop? And what made you think like a simplified beauty workshop would be good for you? So I'm going to be answering any questions that anyone has. So you've got questions about sensitive skin and eczema. Wendy, can you see the presentation as well, just out of curiosity? I think it's showing, but I'm not sure. Interesting. Here, let's try that again. Okay, that should be there now. Hi, ladies. Thank you for joining. I will be helping you break down beauty so that you can figure these things out for yourself. But of course, I'm going to answer any questions or any products that you've brought that we can discuss through the presentation. So the workshop, I mean. So I was just doing my intro. My career started in London. I've been a makeup artist for over 20 years, and I am now working with women and moms to offer them consultations to be able to break down their own beauty routine in a way that's digestible and understandable, so that I can help with all the ways that I've learned over the years and the techniques and ways of simplifying. But really that leads to like starting with a little bit of inner work. I will answer all the questions in the chat. I'm just going to go through so you have a little context. And I was also saying that the reason I do this now is because I'm a mom too, and I want to be available for my family and my kids. And that is hard to do when you're on set for fashion and beauty with celebrities. You're always on someone else's schedule. So this way I get to have an impactful career, bring my knowledge, and be of service to everyone that needs it. Okay, so you've actually answered some of these questions. For some reason, some of the pictures aren't showing up, but that'll have to do. So these are some of the common questions I get. And now you've entered some more great questions about simple routines to keep skin moisturized at 65, and thinning brows, simple fixes, and all that kind of stuff. So you've actually answered why you're here, and that's really helpful for me because these are things that do affect how we feel about ourselves. And now I'm going to flip the narrative for a second, because all of these things are things that we want to change, and I will address them. But to begin with, I want to start with looking at ourselves. If you all brought a mirror, if you didn't, you can use your phone camera instead if you like. The idea is to like take a moment and look at yourself in the mirror and just say something kind to yourself. And it feels so challenging and simple, but it can really have an impact on your day. So if you can just take a moment to do that, that would be amazing. It could be you're beautiful. It can be I love you. It can be anything that actually resonates and hits home. And if you've ever done any inner child work, you'll know that this is kind of something that we don't ever give ourselves, and we always look outwardly toward to get. So it's about bringing it back and like taking that moment to appreciate yourself. And then my tool is to break down your face in a way that you can start to understand how to do beauty differently and find your best feature. So while you have your mirror or your camera in front of you, have a look at your face by your eyes, your eyebrows, your skin, your lips, your nose, your cheeks, and try and find what really stands out to you as your best feature. You might already know what your best feature is, or I want it to come from you, not from what everyone's always told you, really. And if you want to drop it in the chat and let me know what your best feature is, that would be fun too, because I think this is something that has a little bit of a challenge with. But it can be inspiring for others as well to hear this. Val said eyes. Yes, I love that. Tammy said lips. Great. Wendy, beautiful eyes. Oh, this fills my heart. It's like so simple, but it's like to refer to ourselves in these ways isn't easy on a daily basis. So starting there is really going to kind of lead the path for how we look at the rest of the face when we're simplifying beauty, and breaking it down so that you can do this on a daily basis and by yourself. Because I hear from people all the time, oh, do you want to just move in with me so you can do my makeup every day? We all know that's not practical. So I'm finding the best way possible to serve everyone and deliver that feeling without me being in your bathroom with you. Okay, so we're gonna start with skin tone, and then we'll get to the eyes and the lips, and any of the other pieces that people love about themselves. Because skin, whether you wear foundation or not, it all plays a part in the tones and what colors you wear on your eyes, what colors you go for on your lips. So really understanding this piece is going to simplify all of that. I am one that does not recommend tons of products. I don't say you need everything. I'm not trying to get you to cover up and buy a bunch of products. I know how overwhelming it can be because I hear that a lot too. So I recommend, like if you have your mirror and you're looking in your mirror, this chest color is the color that you're gonna always search for your foundation, concealer, anything based off of. So you either have cool tones or more, which have more yellows in them, and warm tones have more reds in them. And you can see by the colors here, like the first person and the person underneath her, they both in the Pantone colors have more pinks in their skin. And then there's the people that have darker skin. The fourth person across, the guy, he still has a pinky tone in his skin. You can tell it's easier to differentiate with the background color. And then there's person number 3 that has more yellow tone. So being able to see that in yourself will really help you figure out what complements you. And I always recommend testing a foundation or concealer on the side of your face. Putting a few next to each other, blurring your vision a little bit, like squinting, is going to get you clear on which one's the best suited color for you. Try it on your inner arm, on your jawline, anything like that will really help you. And you can always, if it's on your hand, you can always hold it up to your face to differentiate. So going with warmer or cooler tones or neutral. I'm very olive skinned, so I prefer something that's a little more neutral because something too yellow can make me look sallow. I want something with a little bit of warmth, but not over the top. So a neutral color could work too. And there are brands that kind of have neutral cool or neutral warm, etc. I definitely recommend brands that have more conscious ingredients, and this leads to the question about eczema and sensitive skin. If you do want to wear foundations or concealers or anything and you have sensitive skin, it can be really daunting. And eczema, because it can cause flare-ups. So I definitely recommend doing less, which also means less ingredients in your products. Being able to differentiate the products, there's tools out there that, you know, can scan things and tell you what they are and what's in them and whether they're bad or good, or what damage they can cause, etc. Because it's not something we think about often, but it's definitely something that happens. So starting there is a good point. Your skin. Does anyone know, can anyone really differentiate by looking at their chest what color they might be? What skin, whether they're cooler and have more yellows in their skin or warmer and have more pink tones? I'll see if anyone types anything in the chat. Okay, cool. So we have neutral, we have more warm, and we have pale blue veins. So, okay, blue is also of the cooler, so that works as well to be able to differentiate. And based off your chest as well, like I said, Wendy, that's a good place to go off of. It's easy to differentiate from your chest color what would match your face. Wendy, you asked about skin and eczema. I'm wondering, does that happen on your face? And do you feel like you can't wear foundations? And sun a lot in Florida. I get it. I love the sun too. I'm Greek, so the sun is a huge part of my life as well. I'm just waiting for Wendy to answer before I move on to the next slide, because she had a question about eczema and sensitive skin. Okay, and do you wear foundations or concealers ever? Okay. So yeah, minimizing the ingredients, and also I would suggest more moisturizing formulas, less drying, so less powder foundations, less of the mattifying foundations, or concealers or anything like that, even if it's SPF, stuff like that, because what it's going to do is exacerbate the problem because it's drying out. I mean, with sensitivity and stuff like that, I really recommend simplifying. I know a lot of people tend to use more abrasive things, and it can exacerbate the problem too. What you want to do in a situation like that is the skin's exposed. You go for a dewy look. Yeah, exactly. And then making sure like it can have a hyaluronic in it. It can have something that's also nourishing the skin at the same time. And that way it's not going to dry your skin out more, and it's not going to make the dehydration and the eczema more. What's happening is the skin's inflamed because it's overly exposed. So rebuilding the skin barrier, I always recommend a balm or something, even if it's at night, to help soothe the skin. And it can also work well under foundation's a good one, because it will create a barrier between the foundation and your skin and still soothe and protect the skin when you wear foundations and stuff like that. Okay, which leads me to eyes, because you know that you are a little more neutral, a little more red, a little more, you're kind of gauging what your colors would be. There were pictures here. I'm so annoyed they're not showing up. I'm not sure what happened. So depending on your eye color, this is like the more yellow, the cooler gold at the top is an image on the left that you can see. And then there's warmer gold shadows. Now this applies not just to golds, it applies to matte colors, anything like that. You can see what the warmth looks like in a shadow, and you can see what the cooler colors, more silvery, look like in eyeshadows as well. My recommendations are, if you have green eyes, go for a more purple toned color. It can even be a neutral, like a brown, that has a purple tone to it. And that's really going to bring your green out in your eyes. A blue eye, I recommend a rusty, more coppery tone, kind of like the warm gold shadow in the picture. You can see her eyes are a little more blue. And then brown eyes, you can go for warmer. I have brown eyes. I have a little bit of a warmer shadow on today. And this is like, can you guys see me as well as the presentation, out of curiosity? I can see me. I just don't know if you can as well. So I'm just gonna, I think you can. Because I have two eyeshadow palettes that you can see here. This one is more yellow. It's a cooler. This one's a little more warmer. It's a bit more pink. You can even see it in the brown. This is an example of how you figure it out. And the biggest differentiating factor here is going by, I'm going to show you a color wheel. So when you have blue eyes, you're going to see anything that has more coppers, more reds in it is going to be a good match for you because it's your complementary color. If you have green eyes, again, warmer. And then with brown eyes, where's the green? There's also green and purple. That's also a good option, like I said before. I don't know if you can see the line that points down. So going off, always looking for your complementary color in those situations is a good thing. Opposites attract. Remember that when it comes to the eyes and finding the right color to really bring out your eyes. Now, there are little ways before even thinking about eyeshadow that you can bring your eyes out. The idea is that if you brush up your brows and curl your lashes, those are two of the simplest ways to enhance your natural beauty. Brushing your brows it's the frame of your face. It frames everything. It's like the difference between going out, Tammy, you'd understand, in Florida, getting super frizzy hair and it being a mess, and a blow dry. You might have a blow dry and then that still happens. But the point is the eyebrows do that for your face and they bring out your features in that way when they're Even if, you don't pluck them, it doesn't even matter. It's just a matter of brushing them up and filling any gaps so there's definition. It doesn't mean that it has to be as defined in this picture, but it's adding a frame to your face. And then curling your lashes, how I recommend doing it is by pumping at the root a few times, then middle, then top of the lash. This way you're getting a curve rather than a bend. Those two things will bring your eyes out even if you don't put mascara on, even if you don't put shadow on. So super simple ways to do that. Next is lips and cheeks. So if you have cool skin like me, with more yellow, olive, anything like that, going for warmer tones and warmer pinks and reds with like purpley undertones. It's like called the blue red is a good option. Oh, sorry, Tammy, it didn't populate the question. Not seeing the wheel, just the presentation. Oh shoot, okay. Super tiny picture. I'm gonna just stop sharing so that I can show you that again. And then we'll move on to lips. Can you see me now? Okay, here's the arrow. Let's see. So blue eyes. There's your blue. And these are examples of browns that have more orange and reds in them. Let's see if we scroll over here. You see it's a warmer brown. Hopefully you can see that now. Let me know. And then I'll show you the colors of the shadows as well. You see cooler, warmer, cooler, warmer. And the same in the browns, the dark brown. Does that make sense? Does anyone have a question about that before I move on to the lips and cheeks? I don't want to speed through and anything get missed. What do you use to fill in brow? So this is a good question, Tammy. What I recommend for people when they ask me that question is I always ask, what do you do now? So Tammy, what do you do now? Do you fill your brows in at all? Do you not? What do you do with your brows? Be a delay on. Eyes are warm hazel. I just saw that, Wendy. Yeah, there's a delay on the chat coming through, unfortunately. Just brush them. Okay. Do you have thin brows? Do you not pluck your brows? That's the other question. It's all in the details, really. Is there a shape? Obviously, if I could see you. I'm wondering, does anyone want to, maybe I can make you, I wonder how I can do this. If I make you a guest, you might show up. I think I got you. Let's see. They're very small. Oh, the picture, sorry. They are thin at the beginning. Okay, so if you are looking to fill them in, something that if you have thinner eyebrows, I would recommend doing either a brow gel because it'll make them look thicker and just fill in what you already have. Or you could, if you feel comfortable, but seeing as you only brush them up at the moment, I wonder if you would be comfortable. doing a pencil liner, whether it's one that is super fine. I have one here like this that can do super fine lines. And this is where, you know, your knowing your colors comes in. You can do lines very easily. Some people aren't comfortable with these because they're a little challenging. There's also pencils that are a little angled that help, because the longer end of the pencil can go into the thinner part and just thicken it up. Those are two options that would work well for eyebrows that are thinner at the beginning. And if they're thinning, which is what you asked earlier, I also recommend, there are brow gels that have serums in them that help growth. Castor oil is another great thing for eyebrow hair growth too. So Wendy says you have skin, pale skin, warm hazel green eyes. So yes, a purple toned colors would be beautiful on you and really make your eyes stand out. And going with that charcoal ring around the outside, not knowing what season you are. So, I mean, there are the seasons, there are the different swatches that you can get, but there's also ways to do it just by knowing your own skin, which is why I've broken it down like this in the presentation. So when you are shopping for you, you know what to look for. Okay, I can move on to the lips and share this part. Where did it go? Hopefully you can see it now. This is where the warm and cool applies again. So paler skin, if you have more warmth in your skin, you're gonna go with cooler shades on your lips. So cooler with more bluies, more purples, and that will help bring out your features and not make you feel washed out or the opposite, basically, just not complimentary. And if you have warmer skin with more pinks in your skin, sorry, I said that part. If you have cooler skin, you're gonna go for warmer colors. So the opposite. Does anyone have any questions about that? And an easy way to like enhance your lips is a balm or a tint. It doesn't even have to be complicated. Doing something like that when you haven't done anything else other than brows and eyelashes, because now everyone's going to do that and feel great. That's a super easy way to do it. Feel great. Know that your best features enhanced, and you don't have to feel self-conscious. Like every time you look in the mirror, you need to check your liner and your lips, and is it still there, and how is it sitting, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I have had the experience being on jobs. I've worn a red lip and I'm watching everyone else all day. I'm keeping an eye on their makeup for the shoot or whatever it is that we're doing. And the next time I look in the mirror, like no one's told me, but it's smudged and there's a little bit here because I went like that and I ate or whatever. And if I'm working on someone else, the last thing I want to be doing is watching my own face and making sure that it's okay, because it's a representation of, you know, what you can do and what you can't do. So if everyone's good on that, I will move on to the next part, which is the effortless morning. This is a great, shopping colors online. Yes. We live in a very digital world. So to make it easy, because I get asked all the time, how do I pick my colors? And every brand does it differently. They have all these names, juniper, oak. You're like, I don't know what color that is. It's not broken down by numbers anymore these days to really simplify it. I recommend shopping with brands that offer samples of their foundations and concealers, because some of them do. And then that way you can get 3 that are similar and differentiate between them. So the other aspect is always having a picture of your face in natural daylight with you when you are shopping online or even in store, because like, the lighting in stores is not great. So having that picture on your phone of your face to reference is also really helpful. So here, this brand tends to go a little more pink with their foundations, as you can see by Cedar and Birch. They're a little more orangey and pink. I prefer things that have more neutral colors because it's harder to go wrong, basically. But in this picture and my face, this picture of the products, I'd probably say I'm somewhere between Birch and Aspen, judging by their colors. And then it might even be Willow. I feel like there's a big jump between their color tones, but it's a good example of the 3 colors that I would want to get samples of to really see if those are the right colors for me, and navigate what the best option is. You also get a feel for their textures like that too. Okay, so now we've talked about your favorite parts. Those are the pieces that you're going to aim to enhance in the mornings when you do your own makeup. Brushing up your brows. This is the difference, that middle picture, between curling your lashes and not. You should be able to zoom in to the picture as well. Let me know if you can, but I'm pretty sure that is a possibility. And you can see the difference between curled lashes and not curled lashes and what it shows. Okay, yeah, I'm glad you can zoom in. And then you can see the difference. Adding a pop of color that's complementary to the girl's eyes in the last picture just wakes her face up and brings it to life. So these 3 things, easy and effortlessly, can change how you feel walking out the door in the mornings. I will send you, I have a download, which is my effortless morning routine. It's 6 steps, 5 minutes. You can choose. You don't have to do every single one. You can pick. So the very first picture where it says no brows. So there's no brow gel, no definition. She hasn't filled it in. And then the middle picture, she's used a product to naturally fill in the brow. So you see where there's a gap in the just before the arch. In the first one, the no brow, that gap is eliminated in the second one. In the third one, she's brushed up the brows. So there's a little bit of a difference in how you can do it, but really this is what it shows, like brushing your brows does, and how it impacts your eyes, the rest of your face, everything. No problem. That's what I'm here for. So any other questions about that? Yeah, I'll send you the download is what I'm saying. After this call, you'll get the download. You'll be able to go through it yourself and pick little pieces that work for you. So my eyes are my favorite piece as well. They weren't always, but they are now. And I don't know, maybe it's because I see myself, my eyes in my kids, or I don't know what it is, the expression from them, but there's something that is warming to me about when I look into my eyes. And that can also have the opposite sometimes, where I wake up and my face is too puffy and my eyes are puffy, and I will, in my effortless morning routine, I will minimize what I'm doing by focusing on my eyes and depuffing. That's what I see the problem is. That's what I'm going to enhance. So I'm going to use a gua sha, which I have here somewhere. Gua sha. And I'm going to just take this down, stop sharing. So the gua sha will go under my eye. It's cooling like ice. It will depuff. And then I can stroke to like do lymphatic drainage and depuff my face, which is then going to enhance the piece that I like the most, and I'll feel great. Was bullied. So the only area I like is eyes. First of all, Wendy, I hate that. I'm sorry that happened to you, and it just goes to show the impact it has throughout life to have that experience. But I'm also hoping that through something like this, you can start to see yourself a little bit differently and find those aspects that are beautiful outside of what you were told by people. Because as we know, people reflect onto you what their problems are. So unfortunately, it had an impact on you. And I've never seen one of those. Your talk is helping. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you. That this is the impact that I mean. Like, I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help women feel empowered in themselves. And rewriting some of these things, especially in beauty, which is so saturated, so fast moving, and frankly exhausting to keep up with it and to just feel good in ourselves. It's like, how can we do it differently? It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simplified and you can feel great. So I'm glad to hear that the talk is helping. And if I can support you in any way in the future, please reach out. I would love to see if I can, like, I didn't intend to make everyone invisible. That was not my goal. At the end of the presentation, there's my email, there's my Instagram, there's the website where you can book consultations with me. I'm trying to see how I can get everyone else to show up, but it doesn't really look like I can. Unfortunately. But if anyone has any other questions, please drop them in the chat. Does it give you the option to turn your video on? I know someone said they were having difficulties. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Good to know. This is the difficulty with video. Anyways, does anyone have any other questions? I'm gonna see if it's in here while I wait for the questions to come through. Okay. So yeah. Also, the less is more applies to skincare products. That's a major one. I'm gonna wait for the chat. It keeps jumping up. I can't tell if I am on or not. No, I'm not seeing anyone's videos, unfortunately, but I guess if you have any questions, if this has brought up anything for you, good, bad, anything, I want to hear it. I think it'll help me also serve you later. My goal is always to make things easier. So however I deliver this in an online way, in a virtual way, I don't want it to be another thing that you have to do and think about. I want it to just make sense so that there's awareness so that you can do your own beauty differently each time. Hopefully that makes sense. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions, because I don't see any coming through the chat right now. Wonder if I refresh it, if it'll come through. No, no more questions. Good question, Val. What do I think about retinols? I think they have a time and a place. I think they can be beneficial when used sparingly. I prefer alternatives, natural alternatives. There are oils and creams that work similarly, but are not as irritating and abrasive. My experience is when customers come to me or clients have come to me and they have used retinols too much, they're complaining about their skin being dehydrated. It starts well. All of these things start well. Like the kids doing glass skin, all of it starts well. They're like, look how bouncy my skin is. And then a few months in, after use, overuse, their skin becomes dehydrated. They don't know how to repair their skin barrier. They're seeing issues they've never seen before. So I highly recommend finding alternatives. It really depends on what you'd want the retinol for. Depending on the percentage, the potency, I wouldn't recommend using them on a daily basis. I do know some estheticians do, but that's my experience of having worked through people's issues from overuse of the retinols. This is where listening to your skin for your makeup, for anything like that, is crucial. Because if you've gone a whole week using something, there's going to be more detriment and backtracking after than there is if you stop after a day, assess your skin. Okay, I don't notice much difference yet. Let me try another day and then see how it is again. And everything else stays the same, but the retinol changes. And that way you're not doing something different with every single step or every single product, and you can really pinpoint what product is doing what. Hopefully that makes sense. I use vitamin C serum, that dermal serum, then eye cream, then usually a tinted moisturizer in the morning. Is that good? I think that's great. Yeah. Again, see how the vitamin C serum, how your skin responds to the vitamin C serum. Start paying attention to it. Okay, I've been using it for this long. Have I noticed anything different? Vitamin C can also be more astringent because it's a citrus, obviously. It's also water soluble, so it can evaporate and it can not have lasting effects. So, play with it. See if that product's working well. See if you want to change the vitamin C. Usually the best vitamin C comes in a powdered form. There are powdered vitamin C cleansers that are great. They minimize dark spots. You said you'd been in the sun a lot in Florida. Dark spots can come up. Vitamin C can keep them at bay. But overuse of it, again, can have the opposite effect, where you actually find that you are getting more dark spots because you're refreshing the layers of skin constantly that aren't necessarily ready to be exposed. And that then leads to more dark spots because of the heat, which is what dark spots come from. A reparative serum with a face oil. Yes, I'm a huge believer. I don't know if you knew, but I had an oil and skincare brand, olive oil brand, my family being Greek, up until last month for 9 years. And I always try to get people, even people with acneic skin, have reported huge benefits to using oil cleansers and really minimizing. Why? Because it doesn't have surfactants, which can be stripping. It doesn't have ingredients that are drying out your skin like a gel cleanser or anything like that. And cream cleansers don't come off as easily sometimes and can leave your skin clogged after. So an oil's in between, and our skin does hydrate itself with oils. If you think about when your skin's dehydrated, this is what people miss with oily skin. When your skin's oily, you're producing more sebum. So that sebum is nourishing and hydrating the parts where it feels like there isn't enough oil to keep it moist. So I love face oils. One I have and I've used from time to time, so every 2 to 3 weeks. That's absolutely fine. Yep, that sounds like a really great product. And using it like that, if you feel like you're not seeing enough benefit, maybe try it once a week and see if you see a difference then. Something like that. I love a hyaluronic or a humectant. I love a good honey mask because it moisturizes, pulls moisture from the air, it hydrates your skin, it exfoliates gently by breaking down dead skin cells. So there's tons of great little ways to like minimize the things that you're doing and read whether your skin needs more, different, this, that, or the other. So hopefully that's helpful. Anything else? You're welcome. Okay. Well, I'd love to know your experience of this workshop. So you can either email me. Thank you, Tammy. You can either email me or message me on Instagram or something, or you can just tell me now because that'll be helpful. It's my first time doing it like this. I'm used to working face to face with people, but obviously I want to bring it to more people in a manageable way and in a way that you don't just forget about and you can actually benefit from for months, weeks, whatever, years later. I love it. Yes, it is very near and dear to my heart. Would you recommend a way of lightening brows? Dark brows and light hair, very strange. You can gently bleach your brows. It's a bit tricky. There's plenty of ways to do it. But what I would recommend is you could even use a lighter shade of eyebrow gel if you wanted to make them a little bit lighter. But I don't think it's strange. I've seen a lot of women with dark brows and light hair, and I still think it's beautiful. So it's really about like, okay, well, interesting. How can I make this work? And yeah, bleaching could definitely exacerbate the eczema. That would not be a fun feeling to have the redness and the pain around here. So a lighter shade, and also if you do fill your brows in, going with a shade that's lighter to fill in the gaps is going to mean that you're not making your eyebrows darker. Brow gel doesn't cover it. So you've tried brow gel. Okay, well, you could always bleach. I don't know if you get your hair colored, but you can also ask your colorist about that. And if you don't get reactions, if you do get your hair colored, if you don't get reactions on your scalp, you should be okay to do it on your brow, but they can always patch test it to check too. Val, very helpful. I forget sometimes very simple things, and just hearing them again remind us. Yeah, so practice, this is the best part. Practice these things in front of the mirror. It's like pretend you're a kid again. Remember, I used to like do little dance moves in front of the mirror and like again, just have fun. Practice holding that space for yourself in front of the mirror and spending a few minutes, whether it's massaging your face, using a gua sha. Like I might start putting them on our site because we still have these little guys from my business. And really like alleviating any things that you feel or have been taught were not beautiful. It's like, oh, actually, I am beautiful by sitting there and looking at yourself. I love it. Yeah, or go the opposite. Exactly. Match your brows. That's funny. I like that. So yeah, I challenge you to try it, to test it out at home in front of the mirror and see how you can reframe these things for yourself. And get playful. Makeup, all this stuff comes off. None of it's permanent. So when you have colors that you can play with, you might even have eyeshadows that you want to play with and see. if they're not expired and old, which is also a common issue that we have when I do consultations with people. They're like, oh, I don't know how old this is. So just see how it feels. See when you put it on, is this cool? Is it warm? Is it making me look better, or is it making my eyes look worse? Actually, it's not bringing out the color. And test it out, and then you'll be able to really see the difference in what works. Okay, well, thank you all very, very much. I'm going to get the workshop recording to you, and I'll also get the effortless morning download to you. And last but not least, there was something else I wanted to mention. I don't remember now, but please feel free to reach out. Oh, I was going to say, if you check your junk, you may have received my emails first, but I think my domain wasn't verified, technical stuff again. See if those pretty emails that I made actually made it to your junk. And then you'll be able to get them in future by just clicking like trust sender. Domain's verified now, so it should actually be coming into your inbox in future. But I don't know, that Ethernet thing. And that way we can stay in touch. I'll be sending out tips and tricks. And again, your questions are always welcome. So thank you.